Hi and welcome to Wrong Way, and today I'm going to tell you about the new wheel made in Europe, the Reciowheel. So let me tell you more about it. Wrong Way. And really quickly, before we get into the video, our dear friend Erwin Green from the channel ThaBlackCobra, which we all do like and love so much, has had a pretty bad and nasty accident on his Monster Pro at low speeds and broke his shoulder in 2 places. So that's a really bad accident, and if you don't know, he's actually a police officer, and now he will have a recovery for the next 6 months. So if you want to support him, he has a GoFundMe page linked below. I donated my small part, and if you want to donate your part, go to the link below. If you don't have any money to donate currently, send some love to ThaBlackCobra. He's a very lovely person and a very high energy, very positive energy, and the what's up people?
What's up people?
Is always awesome, so do that. And yeah, let's get into the Reciowheel now. Recio because it's from Spain. And this wheel is now not in production, it's just a one-off sort of prototype or like working wheel that Javier Recio made. And the main merit of this EUC is just to show what's possible, what you can make of a wheel, basically with your own tools and with the help of local manufacturers. So Javier is not planning to sell this wheel currently, although probably a lot of you guys would want to buy it. He is talking with Chinese manufacturers, but this is very much like a project showing you and showing the community what is possible to do and like what areas of EUCs that, you know, all of us have or some of us have can be improved. With that said, I have a couple of notes here from the presentation. The presentation happened on the Robber Ace channel. If you don't know this channel, go check it out. It's in Spanish with English subtitles, so I thought it might be also useful to you to check it out in English. So let's get started. All in all, this is a 16-inch wheel with a off-road tire similar to the Sherman's, but a Shin tire, so a pretty good tire, and the outside diameter would be around 18 inches, so actually pretty close to a MSP. Battery wise, it's a 20S 6P configuration, so pretty much the same capacity as a Guads MSX and a Kingsong 16X, so 84 volts, meaning that it would have a range of 70 to 80 kilometers. Top speed wise, he was saying around 50 to 60 kilometers an hour, but mainly it's destined to be a off-road wheel, so probably the most comfortable would be around 40 to 45 kilometers an hour. The motor power is 2000 watts in nominal, 4000 watts in peak, and the motor, the same as the main board, is from a RevioWheel GT16, a wheel that I still want to review on this channel. So these are the main specs, and if you want me to check out this wheel in person, let's get this video to 1,000 likes. If this video gets 1,000 likes, we will fly with Kate to Madrid and check this wheel out in person. Hopefully Javier will accept that. and there's a lot of unique things about this wheel that are pretty exciting. Mainly if you look at the Sherman, if you look at the, I don't know, In Motion wheels, Kingsongs, every wheel basically is based on the L hangers, which are here on the bottom. So you are basically standing on L hangers. Oh, I can show you L hangers. Leave the sounds in. So essentially you're standing on these L hangers. These are the L hangers from the veteran Sherman, and these are then connected to the motor. All of the outside things, the shell and the roll cage, which is on the Sherman, is, here's the hole for the roll cage, which goes around to the front and to the back, and the shell, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 screws that are basically holding the plastic, which is on the inside here, closer to the wheel, to the EUC itself. So basically, the whole plastic area, like if you put pads on here and you're trying to pull them up, you're essentially pulling on the screws here that are holding the plastic in place. Not the optimal solution, but you know, that's what we have now. And Javier went ahead and said, well, that's not really intelligent. so, or it's really cheap. So he made actually a whole new stainless steel frame for the EUC. So basically, when you have these L hangers here on the side, you have another piece of steel which goes around and up, and like similarly to the Sherman outside frame, but you also have a stainless steel plate here in the back and connecting also these two rods on the top, giving you a very structurally sound frame for an electric unicycle. Pretty awesome, I gotta tell you, because I had several times just by screwing the screws into the plastic, like on an motion wheel, this plastic just breaks. So this is the first thing that is really unique, and basically the whole presentation starts with this tubular frame stainless steel body, sort of. And then he went ahead and said, well, it doesn't really make sense to have like a brick like that for off-road, and as you can see here, my Sherman already has rust here in the front because I hit it here in the front with some higher curbs, which I cleared, but I cleared it with a scrapage. So he thought that it doesn't really make sense to make this boxy shape. He made a V shape, so you have a very high departure angle all around the wheel, and basically anywhere where you would hit it, it would be either wheel, tire, or on the top, the tubular frame. The lights are also recessed, so connected to this steel frame or steel plates on the side, there is the 2 battery packs on each side, and he says they're waterproof, really nice. And there's an outside PVC shell, which is very easily detachable, in my eyes a bit too easily detachable, for the batteries. So what I would maybe like to see is just a bit more rigid of a construction here on the side, but I don't know, it's still, you know, a one-off wheel, so what do we have actually to comment about it? On the top there's the motherboard, similarly to the veteran Sherman. However, I saw all the cables here in the back and in the front, so there's pretty good airflow. However, it doesn't look as neat as like closed shell like on the Sherman. And I would like to have maybe some additional bracing or some additional walls made out of stainless steel next to the batteries or on top of the batteries to just give a bit more security to the batteries. Another thing that Javier talks about is a very quick tire change. So if you know any wheel, basically it takes forever or 20 minutes or 40 minutes to change a tire on an electric unicycle. And because he has this tubular frame or stainless steel frame, you can just remove sort of the L hangers of the wheel, and then you just pull out the motor. Now there will be also more videos about this wheel on the Robber Ace channel. Now there's just a couple with the wheel riding around the city with a presentation, but there will be also more content about tire change and other stuff, so be on the lookout for that. Now I just have some ideas how this process would go, but basically 2 screws on each side, loosen the motor wiring, take the motor out, and then you can change the tire very easily. Very awesome solution. When it comes to the features of the wheel, it's pretty packed actually. On the front we have an amazing front light, 40 watts, really powerful. By comparison, Sherman light, which is really powerful, is just 18 watts. So it has a very powerful light in the front with a nice beam as well. It's sort of like a motorcycle beam. There's also a daytime running light, like a ring halo around it. It's recessed, so it's safe, and you can also put another light in the front if you would want to do that. In the back there's 2 small lights which are also very bright, and if you want to, you can put a Blaupunkt speaker on the back with an additional light, so then you would have some Bluetooth audio. On the top there's a couple more features. First of all, a analog speedometer, which looks actually really cool, and it's connected to GPS only, so it's not like the speed you usually get on a wheel like a Sherman, which is like electronically measured by the hall sensors on the motor. It's actually just by GPS, which sucks if you're, you know, in a tunnel. There's also a voltage meter on the top, a battery indicator, and a temperature meter. All the things that you need on a display like that, not a Bigot logo and not the mode indicator you're in. And this display should be pretty easily readable since it doesn't need to to be bright. It's just, you know, an analog display, and the rest looks pretty similar like the display on the Shin pulley. There is no lift switch, however. There is no trolley handle, since this wheel is mostly designed for off-road. I would really like to see a lift switch though, but maybe it's pretty easy to turn on and off the wheel here in the front and then just grab it by the handle in the front. There is also a additional seat, which Javier talks about, pretty funny, just slides around, but maybe it's cool. And when it comes to features, I think that's basically it. Oh, maybe one more feature is the rear mudguard made out of a tire. So the tire prevents tire spray. It's just a good idea, I guess. You have some screws holding the mudguard in place, and you can make it long, you can make it short. I guess it's pretty cool. And the last thing I wanted to talk about are the pedal hangers and the pedals themselves. Now the pedals are in motion pedals, and probably he would change them for some, you know, made by himself, other shape, Reciowheel pedals. But they're V-shaped with a strong V-shape. I like a strong V-shape. My Sherman has a strong V-shape with the Nilonova pad, so that's really good for off-road. And they're pretty high off the ground, taller than a Kingsong 16X, much taller than a Sherman for sure. And they also have like this nice additional structural element below the L hangers, which looks really cool. They didn't really talk about it, but I think that's a nice feature. So that's basically it about the Reciowheel. A pretty cool project by Javier, a really awesome, and you know, I was wondering, like, is this going to sell? Where can I press buy? Because it was just such a professional sort of presentation with CAD designs, with a big green screen room to present everything. But you know, at the end there was just like a open ending when Javier says, well, I just made that and it's not for sale. Maybe it will be someday, but not now.
Y poco más. Chicos, que me gustaría que la pudierais disfrutar, pero es una rueda exclusiva, artesanal, para mí, y teóricamente no se van a fabricar más. Con lo cual, ahora, si esto sirve para daros una idea y que podáis diseñar vuestras propias ruedas, pues os animo a ello.
Come on, I want to buy it, or you know, people want to buy it. But nevertheless, very interesting. I think it's awesome that Javier shows the community, shows also other manufacturers how well actually you can execute a electric unicycle. And I really hope that we get to 1,000 likes, because I really want to check out this wheel. So if you're still here, leave a like on the video, subscribe to see more content like this. I'll see you in the next video. Adios.